podcast. Enjoy.
Hey, people, this is Renee.
This is Bridget.
Talisha.
And this is episode 66 of Same Book, Three Time Zones.
Whoop, whoop.
So we brought in the new year in February for our first episode because we skipped January. But oh my goodness, because what a way to come in. You know?
Right. It was worth skipping because, my gosh.
Yeah, that December book kind of. But anyway, we read Chemistry, The Chemist by Grey Huffington.
Wonderful.
The girl is just, okay.
Bomb 10 out of 10.
Yeah, it was great.
As soon as we finish this, I'm starting the next book.
It's the story, but it's the writing. And it was just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It was so good.
We are getting like adrenaline at the end because you like, how is this gonna play out? He stressed me out.
The last like 2 or 3 chapters, I was like, I can't. I don't know what's gonna happen because like
I know their love together is so good, but it's like we know who she is.
Right.
Yeah, it was rough.
It was stressful.
Yeah, it was rough and it was stressful for me because I waited to the last minute and I was rushing, and when big things happened, I couldn't put the book down and come back. I had to keep going. I was like, man.
I know, right? You couldn't even like let it let it sit and be mad for a second before you jump in. Man, it's just like when they write these daggone people, they start off like he like bad, you know, he called himself the devil, he's doing all this kind of stuff, talking about he's to heaven. I'm like, ugh. And then by the end, he's like, oh my God, please. We don't want him to go down for this. He's not that bad. He only killed a couple people that we know of.
Right. That we know.
Oh no, I can't believe he killed that man. Oh my gosh. He's crazy.
I mean, he told her. She didn't listen.
She didn't understand. Serious.
Right.
Okay, the first time, I get it. But come on, after that, you knew.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
You're right about that. Okay, so the book opened up with like 2 long prologues, which I've never seen before. And we got to know, we learned a lot about who Chemistry is.
And Giselle.
Yeah.
Well, Eden. Well,
Egypt,
you know.
How you got that little later? So in the beginning, I guess it was just showing us his part of the family business with the triad, so those like just other organizations. And then it kind of threw me off. I remember the first moment when he walked in, when he was going to his dad's house, and he was like, he can smell like death. And I'm like,
yeah.
Is somebody like literally, I'm thinking it's blood, something happened.
Me too.
I'm like, oh shoot, what is he finna see? But it was just like in the air.
Yeah.
His dad was sick. I'm like, oh my gosh. And it was his second bout with it too.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh. And then he didn't want the sisters to know. And he was like, what he told him? He told him he had 2 years, but he was like, be for real. And he was like, okay, you're at best. And
did he even have that?
No, he didn't even have that. No. Mm-mm. This man has
money. No, go ahead.
Siblings.
Man, don't he?
Girl.
So wait, with the siblings. So I had a question with that. Okay. So the sisters were from Rhea, the second wife. Yes. And the sons, his brothers, was from his mama?
It was from his. So he was the only one, I think, that was his dad's and mom's kid. The sons came from his mom, but their dad was the one that she killed before she killed herself.
I did not realize that.
The stepdaddy was their dad, the other boys, and they ended up being raised by their grandfather. But those boys were his mom's and stepfather's kids. Yeah, not his daddy's son.
Child, okay.
Right. Yeah, it took some time to try to like,
okay.
Yeah. So these names,
girl, what?
bunch of R's.
Yes.
And then their words. Also, you can't tell if it's a girl or boy, which is like probably done purposely.
Right.
And so they thought it was all men.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
They did.
They ran it better than men would and could. The only reason they got caught was because of the one man in the thing.
Facts.
So, I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm.
But his respect for women and him knowing that they are way capable to handle the same type of business or even better than men could was a nice touch. But he had all these daughters and they were capable of doing what but I guess in their triad, women just didn't get to hold those top positions. His love for his sisters, my gosh.
I know. Isn't it sweet?
Like everybody was baby. I'm like, well, wait a minute now. And then I realized, oh my gosh, they all had a special part in his heart. And like, how do you split your time with all of them?
That's a lot.
He loved his family so much, his siblings, all his brothers, like so many.
His brother, why she seemed real nice. I liked her.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What was her name? Because
Anna.
Yeah.
It was Anna. So yeah. Daddy kept trying to have a boy, and he kept getting girls, and it did not stop him from raising them and training them to be these just ruthless, smart, like all got it together.
Yeah.
Everybody's profession had a specific role in their business. Just well thought out. I'm just
10 degrees that take 10 years took them 6. Like,
yes.
Whew.
How all of them, girl. All of them. And he's a chemist.
And they didn't really talk about, that after the introduction of it, of what he did, about him being a chemist. It was just he had to go do business or do this or do that. Nothing.
But like the focus was basically on like the love story versus the criminal side, which I appreciate. Because I don't even know all the details of all these different things. I ain't trying to mix nothing. So that's okay. But yeah, she did keep that part like kind of out of it. But it was still like, prevalent. This which sister was it? Roulette had a strip club, and it was basically the way that the family found out who their new clients could be, who could be like an additional buyer for them or whatever. They had like this kind of funnel in a way to find out who they could trust to do business with, which was crazy, but it was so smart. But like, that initial is getting them in a door at the strip club, and then have like these private parties and kind of like, finding out who can whatever. And Miss Giselle, I think when we first met Giselle or Eden is when he went to the sister girl. When he went to that club and he was walking past the bouncer and some dude in the line said something.
I thought it was no more room. Why you letting him in?
Stupid.
Lord. Don't honk at him. Don't do nothing. Let him be.
Don't look at that man because that boy's about to die and he ain't even care into the middle. He bust his teeth.
That's what he did.
Yeah, like stop running your mouth when you don't know nothing. He lucky he didn't die.
Yeah,
like because I feel like that boy he had no problem with it. Like they had a cleaner. One of the girls was a cleaner. She was a forensics.
Yes. It's like they had all the fields that they would need.
Yes.
Yeah. They don't need no outsiders. They got it.
Yes.
Lawyer, doctor, therapist.
I can't. And then the baby who just had the intuition to kind of know if a person was good. And they didn't think she had anything to do with anything because she, was a ballerina. And bam, hers was like one of the most important because how she felt.
Like, nope, we're not this one.
So this book is so long, so we're gonna end up jumping everywhere, jumping around and stuff like that.
Yes.
But for Rome, like when it all went down, they was gonna marry her off to somebody,
right?
So the man could be in charge, or
I thought it was Rome because
no, they didn't want that was the one that
so it was the second youngest, so not the youngest.
So she's a therapist.
For what though?
Because I guess he produced the dude a male child, right?
Or because dude was in jail and he was supposed to take the next, like he was the heir to be
next in line.
Yeah, so maybe it's because so a man could be. I don't. But
I don't know. I was like, what are y'all doing?
Yeah, arranged marriage. I wonder if it still has to happen if he not. Okay.
If he out.
Yeah. Yeah, but man, like I'm sorry, we're gonna have to be flipping around. This boy been training his whole life because he knew that if he ever got caught, that this was the prison he was gonna end up going to, and he made himself
crazy work.
He's crazy, bro.
He say, "I'm gonna swim like a fish. Like I'm gonna be able to hold my breath for a minute. I'm not gonna get tired for hours." What?
Training all the time because he was always in the pool, and then I'm like,
wow,
they just got him away from, like thinking about his mom. No, he
right.
go to jail.
We're thinking it's like therapy. It's like that's
Yes.
the happy place, and it was so girl when they said because when they said it was surrounded by, I was like, no, I know y'all lying. Like,
right.
what? And then he got off of that island. I'm like, I know he didn't swim. And I was like, what dang? But
He did.
All that water. That's a lot of water.
He swam for hours. He don't get tired.
Oh my gosh.
Anybody else is dead.
Like, how are they so strategic and planning this all? Like, he had he was like, I leaked my own phone number. It was taking y'all too long, so we could just get to this point.
Why he didn't just tell her, like, I know who you are. Like, quit. Get away from me. Like, he just loved too much. I don't get it.
This infatuation.
Right. All this time.
This woman happened. Like, and it was funny because his dad told him, obviously, that he wanted an heir before he died. Like, it was like they were, having this conversation. And he was like, man, I can get you a kid. But he was like, he wanted him to have his woman or whatever. Like, he knew that there was going to be a woman that was going to, like, take him out in a way, love-wise, like he has been. And he was telling him, like, there's no way. That's not happening. My heart ain't going nowhere, because he was just so messed up, which he had the traits of what was the schizophrenia or something that his mom had.
Yes.
And so that was just not something on his radar. And literally the next moment he's in this club talking to his sister about, his dad's sickness, walks out, bam, see the girl. Well, god dang, dad was right. Like, right when you see her,
instantly.
And that was her first time dancing, and he told his sister, this her last night.
Like, instantly. Talking about, come on.
And she
got me outside. What? Man.
What did y'all think when y'all found out she was a cop, though?
I said, girl, you gonna die.
Yes. Fact.
I was so scared for her. I thought she was gonna die. I said, you dead. You dead.
And look, even if he don't want to do it, his sister gonna do it.
That's what yes.
Roger, yes.
You're dead.
And the closer we were getting to the end, I was like, well, I guess we got to see the love, because she is no way
she died.
She was going to not die.
Yep.
Right.
And all her people that was working with her. Yep.
Yeah. There was no way. I mean, they really, man, so they, the first meeting that they had, and they, like, he put the blindfold on her, right, to take her to his house. And, they had a night, okay? They
had many nights.
They had some, okay? And then he took her home or whatever. But then, okay, we learned she's a cop. And they have been looking for the people who are over this organization. She said for the past 2 years, they had absolutely nothing. They thought it was an organization full of men. Like, nothing made sense in order for them to actually. They knew they were on the right track, but it was like none of this really. They didn't know where they was at. Right. Yeah. What was the moment that she realized?
The girl. What? The moment that what?
The girl. Yeah.
When she realized that waitress. He was who they were looking for.
The waitress.
Yeah, the waitress.
When the waitress was the girl he knew from back in the day, knew all his sisters and everything. And she was like, tell her, she said they professional. I was like, oh God.
She did.
And then she had the thing in her ear, so even if she didn't want to tell it, it was told.
Yep.
Everything they did it right there.
But I feel like didn't she know or before she had the thing in her ear?
Not all that.
Well, she didn't know all that, but I'm saying, when did she find out? Because it was a moment that she realized or put two to two together that he.
It was that night, because she was like, "Why did I not think of this? Like, everything about him is." He was.
But she always took the thing out of her ear, I guess, when she was with him. I guess she didn't have an opportunity to.
It was something that because she had it like
she knew he wasn't a good guy, but she didn't know he was the guy she was looking for.
And then him being the chemist. No, it's when she found out what he did about about him. Because remember they had the like the profiles, and they were saying like this guy, the leader, had to be some like type of pharmaceutical,
but
whatever.
she didn't know that was him though.
I thought she did, which is why she wanted him to be on the thing. But then when they went to the dinner, and then she told the girl, said the full name, said all the sisters and everything, and then I'm like, why did you been why you ain't been take that thing out and slant, like why you still got that in your ear if you trying to protect him?
And why he let that girl say all
of that? You right.
Why he let her talk that long?
He knew who she was by then.
I was like, I want him to kill her.
I did. Like, shut her up.
Oh everything.
Like
everything.
How did you get all of that out? And then everybody just listening on the other end, and this girl about to die. She finna throw up.
Girl.
And then when she went in the bathroom to throw it away, he came in there thinking like, I know you in here because you mad because you want to kill a girl. Like I kill people who
right, like she's jealous.
I'm like, that's not why she in here. That's not why she feels sick to her stomach. She found out she falling for somebody who
the full name.
Because she was calling him Mr.
Yep.
Because he wouldn't tell her.
Oh, Kim. She was calling him Kim.
She was calling him Mr. at first. Because remember, he wouldn't tell her his whole name. And then, Kim. So she thought it was
spelled, K-E-M instead of
And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Girl. I was like, man.
How's she still alive? I still don't understand that. But
me either. Sure. I really don't. I don't know.
He didn't give up information. And
the part when it was all, and she was still at her place, and she heard the knock on the door. They said that we're coming to get you or whatever. She opened the door, and it was the daddy and the driver. Was that real?
That's what I'm so confused, because right after that, nothing happened.
But it's like, okay, but then she said that, I don't know, did she close her eyes and they just disappeared and she didn't notice? Like
she said she looked down the path where the guy Bradford came from, and then she saw, I guess, the driver hold up a gun.
Oh, the gun.
I guess with his fingers. But then that was it.
That. Or the
cop, I thought he winked at her.
Like, I'm just like, that way that happened was weird, man. And it's like they knew everything. Like the cops were trying to, okay, we're going to say that one of the other cops is your best friend and you're just going to go see them, and then we're going to go down a tunnel in this house to go down to, and he knew all of that?
All of that.
They weren't playing nobody. And I'm thinking, because if he's that careful, there's no way that he doesn't know that y'all are on. Like, once you kind of learn him and how he does things, and he's always watching her.
Somebody is always watching her. You right.
And it's like she be in her apartment looking down or sad. He be telling her to look up, Chalk. I'm like, dude, where you a vampire? Where are you? Like, how you just see everything? And
just like that man called and tell him she left.
At some point, I thought her house was bugged. I'm like, he gonna hear everything you said to these cops.
That's true.
Yeah, but their connection with pool, whatever you want to call it, they was both gone. It was nothing they could do.
Yeah. That's true.
It was nothing. Like, he just didn't want to let go. I don't know. He just knew that, I guess for a second, like, he couldn't love her the way she may have deserved to be loved, but he also knew that he couldn't be without her.
But at the beginning, you know how he was like, you mine, you can't be with nobody else. And then it's like he'd be gone for those 4 days. The last time he was gone for the 4 days, and then she out trying to go get a fix.
Now what was that? Like, what was that?
Was it all about the sex or what?
He wanted what to see him, and she say, whatever I got to do to see him.
That's what it was.
I think that's what it was for real. Yeah, because you know what,
you're risking people's lives, though. You're like risking their lives because you're not Egypt, you Eden, okay? And this part where, like, okay, they was falling, it was good, it was deep. She done met not the sisters, that was at the end, but kind of sort of, but she met like the brothers. Went out on a shopping trip and stuff. Like, dang, okay, the shopping. Come on.
Jeez. She said, I want all of them. After tried on every purse, I want all of them.
Where he at? He smiled like, yeah, I'm like, you better. I'm like, okay. But all of this happened, and then she, you're supposed to separate your real life, right? They made a profile for her best friend just in case she needed her, so that if they look back, they can like get that information and not the true information. So everything will have some type of like reasoning.
Yeah.
But he kept saying, "Who broke your heart?" And she wouldn't give him a name. And then one night she just,
why? Why though?
Dude.
Why? Because you know him. You know what he's gonna do.
Like, I would not
kill him though. He promised. He promised. He kept his promise.
I get that, but he shouldn't have touched him at all. Like, I didn't. My first mind would have been he said I wouldn't kill him.
I know you got too many killers around.
Right.
That was my thoughts too.
I kept my word. I didn't touch him, but he had him like with a bag over his head at a location where he took her, and I'm feeling like her, like what are you doing? What is happening? I was so scared.
I know.
Like,
She's scared. She like, oh man.
Because she was saying he got a wife, he got a family, like leave him alone, and it was a whole little setup and plan where he put somebody in the wife's path, and she took the bait, and they recorded it,
and then he's so sick. She's sick too, because she's sick now too, with whatever sickness he got. They go in the other part. Did they eat and they had sex in there too?
Multiple times, and I'm like, so are these people who are serving you guys? Are they like walking in on y'all? Like, what's happening?
It sounded like it. He was, on her knees, and then right after that, she got food. Then he was eating her. Then they was eating food, and they kept.
I was like, well, y'all just steady doing it while they just putting stuff on the table, and then y'all just like, I'm thinking that too. I guess her ex got what he deserved by seeing that. Because he was still trash. He was still cheating on his wife, and his wife cheating on him too. So I guess that was enough for him.
But that helped him though with information about her too.
That's what I'm saying. That was the only part. Because I'm thinking like, okay, is he gonna say her name? Is he gonna like, But none of that happened. So you're almost like, okay, well maybe we safe because nothing happened. But
yeah, I thought we were safe. I mean, I kept thinking he was going to find out, and she was gonna die, but. It seemed like it never happened.
He was gonna die because that was the only plausible ending to this whole thing once everything happened, and it was just a whirlwind of her just learning these people, and that always happens, right? Like you have this high horse you're on, you're a cop, you got this right, wrong, black and white, there's no gray area. You meet this guy, and it's like there's no way this person is as bad as he is on paper because I'm with him every day. I see him, I feel him, yada yada yada. You meet the family. You get to the point where you meet the sisters and the daddy. That means, like that you in deep, and her people didn't even tell her because they knew that she was in. They was like, we didn't want you warning them, so we just let you.
Right. They both sides knew, and she the stupid one ain't know nothing.
Yep.
Know nothing. And
friend was right. She was like, hey, you need to either get off, quit your job or, leave him alone.
But what would be the like you quit your job, they're still gonna go after him. Like what would?
But earlier on, if she had did it, he would have been okay if she had quit. But as time went on, I don't even know when he gave up his number.
Mm-hmm.
Because he had already did that by the time.
Yeah.
She talked to her friend, and she said, and then she's like, "Okay, I'm gonna quit." It was too late then.
Yeah.
It was definitely too late then. And then because I remember, because she called and she was like, I need you to take me off the case. And they was like, girl, the case is done. We got the warrant. We finna raid this house now. She's like losing her stuff. She calls the sister because they were like going for the birthday trip. Roulette is a mess. First of all, the girl funny.
It was funny.
But they going, they somewhere else because the fool owns islands apparently. One is money, it didn't have the other people on there, but dang, how much money they got! Come on, man. Because I remember the receipts to the stuff that he would get. She was like $27,000.
Yeah,
Like that wasn't for you. That's So in case you don't like it, it's not so you can girl. Like that's a whole car. Like, come on, man.
I wanted her to die. I wanted Egypt to die because she hurt him so bad.
Right.
Like before the end part came and we knew that he knew or whatever, I was like, yeah, she needs to die. This man, he has gone through so much with his family, with his mother.
And she knew it.
Yes, within himself. Yeah, and he was working on himself so good and long to keep his mind intact.
Yeah.
You know, and he was just doing everything, and then he put everything in her. He loved her. He expressed everything to her, how she helped him change everything. And then you still ain't gonna tell him. I wanted her to tell him.
Yeah.
Go ahead and just tell him so he could do whatever he need to do if you gonna die or whatever. But yeah, I wanted her to die because she just was so wrong to me.
She waited too long. She waited too long. I ain't want her to die, but
me either.
I did want her to like at least have given him a heads up way before. Like she kept like weighing my career, and I've been and I'm like, but your love for that man is you ain't gonna be able to make it. You've been saying you ain't gonna be able to make it when this is not real and this will never be able to happen. But I keep thinking about a future together and I'm like,
girl, please, you know you ain't gonna be able to work there and be with this drug lord.
Right.
Whatever he was, you can't do both.
When he got, oh God, I'm just thinking about when she was calling the sister to try to say what was going on so she can get the address. And her sister said, I'm from ear to ear. I was like, she meant that. Like, your days have been numbered.
That's right.
That's when I knew. I was like, oh, she really gonna die. Because the way they described Rugger, that was it. And at that point, I accepted her fate, but I just wanted to know what was going to happen with Chemistry. So,
right. Me, see?
Like, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, how is he going to feel? How is he going to take this? Like, you want to protect him, which is crazy, right?
Right.
So yeah, I get that part. At that point, it's like, okay, well, if she got to die, she got to die. But can he not go to jail? And then, she rushed in and she finally gets the address and she's like right there and she pulls up and the cops are already there. I'm like, what the? Oh. Why?
Girl.
I'm like, okay, maybe he got some tunnels or something. Maybe he can get.
I know. But wait. I'm like, he gone. He didn't flew up. He gone.
When she was walking up there and they said they put him in the car and he was like, well, you need to come and see this. They had found something else. What did they find?
I don't know.
They never
say. It's like I don't feel like they found anything because wait, that just made me think about her bed, girl. He took her bed.
That was funny
and crazy. Apartment. I'm like, your expensive bed, and you take mine because you sleep better. Like, but anyway,
crazy.
They I don't know.
Egypt though, he did. As soon as he saw her, he was like, hello, Egypt. They kept calling her Johnson.
I know.
Johansson.
Yeah. When he said that, I was like, well, and he smiled and he was like all collected. I'm like, what that mean? That's scary. And then she said something about her being sorry. He was like, yeah, you are sorry. And then his last words was like, F you. And I was like, well, sorry, boo. Your time has come. Like he done. His sisters is not, and but before she got there, another one of the baby sister had called.
Roman.
Yeah. And she was like, right. I know you're sorry. I know you love my brother, but you're going to have to hurry up and get on out of here because it's it for you if you don't get out. And just at least get a head start. But yeah. So then we get like to his chapter at the end, and I'm like, oh, he been in there for 4 months? Like, God dang, wait, what's happening? And
that man is crazy. He was like, okay, don't kill him. Kill him. Don't kill him.
Break his neck. Slice his throat. He's thinking all these things. Because at the same time, I was like, oh, shoot, because he's not getting the therapy from his sister. He's not.
Right.
Like, how bad can this get if he's been in there? But he's mentally, like, trying to be strong. He's doing
doing so good.
Right.
So good.
Right. Because he could. And when the man was trying to get him, to put his handcuffs on, and he was still counting his numbers. And I'm like, man, let him get to 150, please, because I don't think you should interrupt him.
Was he doing push-ups?
He was doing push-ups.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I was just like, man, just let him get to his 150. And dude's been real disrespectful. And then he put him up in that thing, and he was like,
got too close.
Man, sorry. I got a kid. Don't kill me. Oh my gosh. I was scared for that man. I was like, please don't kill him, because that's going to be something they can put on you. Like, don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
So his restraint was admirable for what he was going through mentally. You know, even the things he couldn't like control. Then he got into that room and
he found his bag on.
Yeah. I didn't think that's what he was gonna say.
Man, I thought it was old girl.
Like, he said, your dad, Richie's no longer with us. I'm like, what? You've been in there for 4 months and you missed your dad's. Oh my God. That would have made me want to kill her.
Yeah.
That would have made me want to kill her. And then when the dude mentioned her name, he was like, touch a hair on her head and you gonna die. Like, I'm gonna cause the bloodiest war. And
what? I thought we was done with her.
But you see, like, how much he loved her, and he was still struggling with those emotions, and also with the hatred and like how she back. But at this time, we didn't know that he knew so much. You know, we thinking all of this happened only because of her.
Right.
And then he was like, well, she had to get taken care of, and we was gonna do it, but we aborted the mission. And he like, we don't abort missions. What are you talking about? And then dropped the other bomb.
You got a baby on the way. Yeah. I'm surprised it took that long.
That's true. it would be after the fact.
Right, because she should have been pregnant all that time.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't taking them above contraception.
And then he was counting it. He was like, you are ovulating at this time.
He was. He was trying to give his daddy, you know. And he chose the woman immediately. That's her. That's gonna be. We gonna make.
Yeah, he did.
That's what he said.
What that chocolate so?
Oh my gosh. So yeah. And then so we're like, okay, she pregnant. Now what? Go to her chapter. You know, she get a phone call early in the morning, like, are you okay? Like, he's out, like, he's gone. And she's thinking like somebody on the force is gone. And I'm like, who they talking about gone? And I was like, I know you lying, because he said he was dead. Like, how? But then she was like, oh, well, I don't know. I accept whatever happens, because you know what? She knew she was gonna be dead.
And I thought he was gonna kill her. And
so I didn't know in that moment. I didn't know if she was like still pregnant at the end and was about to give birth, because I don't know if I didn't read the timelines or whatever, right? But she apparently had
said 9 months. So I was like, she had the baby already.
She was rushed. She rushed to the baby's room, and there he was, holding his baby girl, named after him.
What is the GRU? I mean, JRU.
Chemistry.
Oh, it's chemistry.
What's her middle name?
Chemistry Drew.
Yeah.
Oh, that's how you said. Okay.
And then he took 2 shots at her, and she was just waiting to feel the pain of the 2 shots that she saw come her way. But he didn't shoot her. And he told her, like, I don't miss. You know, so stay right there. And they had a little conversation, and he put the baby down, and he forgave her.
No to leaving, he would have killed her.
I think so. He would have took the baby.
What?
If she would have said no to leaving with him, he would have killed her.
No, he would have made her.
No to him. You're right.
Oh wait, because didn't she like wake up in the airport
on the plane?
You know what happened?
Yeah, I was like, oh Lord, what the man did with the baby.
Right. But yeah, I guess like when he was talking to her and he was like, you know, before you didn't have I kind of, you know, respect the fact you took the oath and you had a job to do and you did your job. And he was like, at this point, you know, you have a decision to make. And of course she chose him, but she was, I mean, obviously feeling so guilty. So bad. Like,
he's like, hold your head up. I'm like, okay.
Basically, the what do you call it? The slate was wiped clean from this moment. The past ain't, you know, it don't matter. We're gonna start from here if you're choosing me. and we gon', because he said I wasn't gonna get on that plane without, I was like, oh, so he's risking it again for you. And if you stupid, go ahead and stay. But she had that baby, and apparently she went through torture being pregnant with his child, just, the emotional part of it. And then she had to face the sisters.
I'd have been scared, man.
I'm sure she was.
Out like, man, okay, look, can you hide me?
I mean, like, dang, give me a day. Like, we just, come on.
I'm over here. It's a big island, man. Just let me have a piece over here.
Like, what y'all talk about before I came here? Do they know I'm coming? Like, are they ready? Or like,
wasn't they together 3.5 months before she met his siblings, and he was around his siblings? We could do that for a little bit. They did that in what's the name? He Who Is a Friend, where she was at his house every day.
That's what this reminds me of.
Yeah, I'm like, we could do that.
Why we be in love with these crazy dudes? Like, nobody can look at you. First of all, see, Sadiq was like, if they ever had you, they gonna die, because I'm gonna be the only person alive that had you. He said they can't even look at you.
They can't open your door. Do you not want your fingers? I do want my fingers.
They can't pull your chair out at the table. Like, this man work here. He's doing his job.
Right.
Don't nobody do nothing for her but me. I'm like, okay, well,
yeah.
But people shouldn't have to die for that.
When he was talking, having fun. When he was having a conversation with his dad, and he was like, yeah, man, if I'll do anything for her, I'll kill for her. And his dad was like, yeah, well, I heard you already did that.
Right. You already crossed that one.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. Man, I don't know. I wish we could have got to know the daddy a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, because it's just like, just knowing the person who raised these kids. Like, he just played such a huge part in who they are, but like, we didn't really get to see much of him. I mean, he was dying, and we'll probably learn more throughout, everybody's stories, because obviously he was everything. Their family unit was just the strongest I've ever seen. Like, they truly loved each other. It didn't matter, nothing mattered but them to each other.
Did it seem like the sister? I mean, obviously they weren't. It seemed like he was cool with the brothers, but the sisters didn't. Did they not?
I mean, they were his brothers, so I don't know.
It seemed like they.
It's not like they didn't match, because they weren't even. Okay, that's another question. Were the brothers a part of any illegal stuff? Because they all had the money.
They didn't have the name, so I would say no. They weren't in the list.
No, not that. Yeah. But I'm like, what did they do? Because, I mean, one was in jail, and the other 3.
I feel like he took care of his brothers.
Think so?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, that part when they had went to, what was it, Berkeley, and had the dinner or whatever, and then he was like taking her shopping, and his brother popped up and like, you finna go take a ride with me? And somebody behind him had blew the horn because they was in the street too long.
Oh, yeah.
He pulled out the gun.
I'm like, what? And then a person behind him blew the horn, and he went and knocked on their door with the gun. I'm like, oh.
I'm the third one bagging up. I don't want no smoke.
Right? I'm like, okay, nope. Other way. Girl. I was like, I know he's not going to shoot nobody.
He would.
Like, yeah. They were scary. I give you that. And nobody's going to mess with any of them. And I remember when she was saying how, people knowing that he's her man, like, she walked, with a little bit of more confidence, had that chin up a little more, especially because he was spoiling her with all of these like high-end things, and he gets mad at her for wearing cheap stuff. Like, that don't deserve to touch your skin type of situation.
Oh, the food thing. When so their first date, he had a nice restaurant at the where they closed, and they stayed open, the most expensive steak and stuff. And then she'd go try to go on a little date with somebody. He ended up killing them, but he was like, okay, well, since you gonna go below your so he go get her some fast food, and she just eat it up. Just like, I wouldn't even feed my dog this. Right. You weren't supposed to enjoy this.
Throw that up.
Like, sir, I'm a regular female, okay?
Yes.
Like, you don't.
he was like, "You supposed to demand more." I was like, "Oh man, I love him."
That's how his sisters were, because it was almost like he had a hand in raising them with him, with the daddy. Like, yeah,
that's his babies.
Yeah, that's what he called. Yeah, that's what he said. This family. I don't ever want to meet them, but it's just cool, to know that they love each other like that.
Yeah.
But man, this story was really good. And the last scenes with her and him coming to the family, he's basically like, look, I forgave her. This is my woman. This is my baby. Y'all don't have to like her, but you have to respect her. And I would do the same for you if you came to me with this and like showing me. And it was like nobody said nothing. And like they was looking at her crazy.
After she apologized, they were I felt like they were so respectful because they were like, you know what? We all make mistakes, man. Yeah. They're like, I did a lot of stuff too. Like,
like, I'm so glad that she was able to apologize. Like, that she got to say what she felt on her heart and like it was genuine and they, they felt it. And obviously gonna respect their brother because ain't no way he gonna like put them in harm's way knowing, at this point. But dang it, how he knew everything. And
I couldn't believe it.
I mean, I believed it afterwards. I was like, why would I not think that, who he is that he didn't know?
He would be caught off guard like that. Yeah. That type of family.
You can't catch my man off guard.
I'm saying you got a family in every situation. And I was thinking about the forensics one. I'm like, I wonder, and a lawyer, I wonder if they would actually be able to find out information about anybody who had anything on. You know what I mean?
So when did he forgive her? Like, did he forgive her before he went to jail or when he was in there?
Because he was in there and found out about the baby.
Me too.
Because they were still together, still sleeping together, doing all of that when he was out, and he knew. So did he forgive her then or later? I don't know.
I feel like he came there with forgiveness in his heart and he wanted his woman and his baby and let's go have our life together. Because he had time to think about it. He had time to, process all of that and then start swimming. However long he had to swim.
For hours, I can do this for hours.
No people was worried. They was like, "Are you okay?" When they called her, he out. It's like, But yeah, she made that decision, and she was, I guess she knew that her family would understand because they know how she felt. Yeah. It was funny because when he got arrested and she went back to the house because they had to put her in protective custody, they were like, "Take the daggone protective. These people crazy. You will die." Yeah. And she was like, "Fine." And she was with her best friend. And she was just telling her, like, man, maybe, if the love is like you said it was, maybe you'll get an unexpected letter or unexpected call. And all I'm thinking is, if anything happens like that, it's going to be an unexpected visit.
Unexpected gunshot. Yeah, I was right. Like, do you not know this man?
No, because it was like when they found, how did it happen with she didn't die because the sister came. Because they knew, because there was a conversation at the end. The sister came to get her and found out.
Yeah.
And it was
like, that belly.
It saved your life, Like, oh my God.
Don't get her.
And then she was like, all I got to say is I better be the first one to hold my niece. I was like, oh, well, that's it.
Oh, yeah, we good. Yeah, we good. Because I was like, I was nervous about that one. The killer?
Her? Like, yeah.
You ain't pregnant no more. She about to kill you.
Right. They got the baby.
What can happen? It was funny about the baby swimming when
don't throw my baby in the water.
They ain't talk for 2 days after she was mad.
Why you throw my baby in the water? There's other ways to teach. To the opposite side and you swim into them. I know you fast, but
that was And she said it took all the sisters to hold her down.
Yes. Crazy man.
But that last part when she surprised him with the wedding.
Aww.
And like how he poured his heart out and was like, no one ever gives to me. And like,
yes, gives to a giver. That I love that so much. And that's so true.
It's like you give because you want to see people happy and you do it.
Right.
Heart. But when they give something back to you, and it's just like, it could be the smallest thing. And it's just,
it's so touching and moving. Yeah.
And he just, he was like, no one ever has, and you just keep giving, and that's how you know, like that was, that.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
By the time they got married, I couldn't believe they waited that doggone long anyway.
I know, but I mean, they living on. So what is Island at? And they don't know he owned it, and like
they must don't.
And then the brothers were there.
Yeah.
He was so like before they was getting. He was talking about in a perfect world, he'd have his mom, and he'd have his dad, and he really loved his mom, and she just, she was just sick in the head, and I mean. That hurts, and you just felt his pain throughout the entire book because he kept saying, Catherine, because like that was, that
it was kind of weird that they called their dad and mom Catherine and
Richie.
Richie. I'm like, why y'all doing that? I'm like, okay.
And it's just funny how like when things were coming together, because when he told her that when they had, where were they at? They were at his other house, another place, but he told her to call her mom. And then they had that conversation or whatever, but then he was like, that was one of the telltale signs because she never said your name. And that's with my, when I'm protecting their identity, I never say their name. And like all these bits and pieces were coming together, and it's like, oh man, next time.
He really loved her to overlook. He didn't overlook it, but to put aside that until the time came, all those telltale signs.
Okay, now I see what you're saying. Did he forgive her during that time?
I feel like he did, because remember how he was saying how even though you had your alias on point where you had a fake mom, a fake all this, he's like, you never introduced me to any of those. You always introduced me to the real,
the real you.
I think that's what made him forgive her.
You risked things to show who you were instead of playing a part, because she wasn't playing a part. She really wasn't. She was just keeping that part, that side that dang, that's just messed up. How you falling for a person and you realize you've been looking for this person your entire life, but she never gave them anything that would like really stick, like there was nothing super incriminating, because again, she knew of a body for sure that he did. That he dropped, and she never mentioned that. Like she was still protecting him. So I was just wondering, like, how far and how long was she going to take this?
Well, she thought that it was going to end up being dropped since they didn't really have too much.
Yeah,
but
they still.
Like, I don't know where he lived. I never been there. That's like, girl, stop lying.
Yeah, I mean, he did have a head. Like, she didn't know where he lived. To be honest, even to the end, she didn't.
She knew where that warehouse he took her to. Whatever that was.
He leaked it. He like, we need to make this go on, move on along. It was really, really, really good. I don't even have no complaints, because I feel like the things that are unanswered are going to be like, I can't say what's not revealed until they're all out, This was really freaking good. And it just kept you just like, because you're just sitting there, you're just waiting for that other thing to just drop, or somebody to come to him. Hey, she a cop. Because when the little sister wanted to pull him to the side, I was like, man, she about to tell him.
Yeah.
But she, she didn't say it. She didn't, because she didn't know for sure. And he was like, well, I wonder if this is like you, because you've never seen me in a relationship like this. Is this your feelings because this is new and like she's taking me away, like time and stuff? Or is it like for real? And at that time, he knew.
He already knew.
Yeah.
Or is that when he started to know? That's when he started digging after that. That's what I thought.
Because he said he knew after the dude, because he was talking.
Yeah, Adonis.
Adonis.
He played it.
She went to that house. He said how he knew then about the.
Yep, and he went there and saw all that they had on him and stuff.
Maybe how we was waiting for the other shoe to drop. It's like we waiting, but when it did, we was like, oh,
right.
It was still a shocker. Like
I know,
for sure. For sure, like
was not expected.
Definitely on the edge of your seat, because like we were trying to enjoy this love story, and we enjoying it. We enjoying it, but at the same time, we just like, she gonna die because he gonna find out, and then how he gonna find out, and who gonna tell, and then who gonna kill her.
It's like a beautiful love story that is gonna end.
She gonna wake up tied up, and she like looking at Rugger's face, and like, what's gonna happen? But like she got what she wanted in the end. He got that's what matters to me. Like he got, his happily ever after feeling like he never would, and his father's words came true.
I felt bad for him again because he didn't want to love anybody. He didn't want to give himself up for somebody like that. And then here she come with all these lies. I'm like, girl, he chose you.
Yeah.
You just messing it all up. Man, now he ain't gonna love nobody else.
I know. That's what I was thinking.
You don't do now. That's what I was thinking. I didn't even care about her no more. I was like, what is he gonna get over this? Because I'm gonna need him to heal from this. Dang it. No, yeah. It worked out. And she didn't remember when they was on a plane, when they landed, and he was putting a necklace on her, and then he saw like his name, but it was a baby's name too, but like tattooed on the back of her neck, and like he like paused for a second. He didn't even say
I was kind of scared a little bit at first though, because before they said it was a tattoo.
I thought he was choking her. She didn't know it yet. I swear to God. I thought when she said she feel the metal touch his chest, I'm like, oh, he about to pull.
Thank you for my daughter. You guys to go.
Ain't nobody ever gonna find your body because we done moved. I definitely thought she wrote that to where our minds had to, we made up a whole bunch of things before the actual thing.
A whole bunch of things.
Yep.
That was really good. So this is 10 out of 10. Okay.
Yeah.
No misses. The detail, the description, the way she wrote things that should have been like a simple thing, but she made it so beautiful the way she said certain things.
It was really good.
I don't know, do we have a favorite character? Because I'm in love with him, and I don't care if nobody gets this.
Chemistry.
That's babe, man. That's my husband.
It's like, we mad at her anyway. You betrayed my man. No.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
he didn't deserve that, man. And I would have treated him right. I would have told him first. I would have been like, so
I'm a cop, and I think you who I'm looking for, so just don't kill me, and I'm gonna tell them that you ain't the right person. I'm gonna lead them in a different way. Do you have somebody you want?
Yeah, for real.
First
have me
in jail. Yeah, he's definitely the favorite because he just has so many layers, and he was fighting through it, and he was trying to be a better person. He was just,
I just love him.
And his love language is giving and gift giving, and I ain't never experienced that in my life. So
he got a third leg.
That too. I forgot about that part.
Yeah,
yeah. Well, that's all we got, y'all. We out.
All right, love y'all.